Let's everybody for the Pledge of Allegiance, if you will, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can be seated. Thank you. Clerk, would you do the roll call, please?
Garrett Hancock. Jason Gray.
Here.
Brett Martin.
Present.
Grant Allen.
He's here.
I did catch up with myself. Cliff Springmeyer.
Here.
Sally Michaels. Here. Kevin Hall.
Present.
We have a form.
Okay, let the record show a quorum has been met. In your agenda, if you look at that, we're gonna go through two executive sessions. The first executive session, you'll see is a staff grievance. Because of the relationship of son-in-law and father-in-law, I've been advised to recuse myself, from that executive session. I wanted to put that on record because at that point I can ask Grant to go ahead and move into executive session. Before he does that, my guess for the public, 30-45 minutes. But I'll have to excuse you to leave until they work through some of these details, and then you can resume. You're more than welcome to sit out front or come back in 30 or 45 minutes. But needs to be with the staff and the board during that executive session. If you'll apologize for the inconvenience, but I need Grant to make a motion. Yeah,
Right now.
if you'll make a motion to move to executive session.
Yeah, I move that we move into executive session.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are now.
We don't want you to leave, Grant.
Oh, the boss can open it up.
From the inside, it's not from outside.
We're back into the land record.
Yes.
Okay, let the record, was there any decisions made during the executive session to make on that record? And grievance has been heard.
Correct.
Okay, now I,
I would like to move into executive session again to deal with,
the grievance.
yes.
My second. Somebody second?
Yeah, Jason did.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? We're now in the second. Have a motion second to get out of executive session. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those nays. Okay, we're moved out of executive session back into the public meeting. I will invite them back in. Thank you for your patience, guys. Some have left. Some are still here, but some have left. Okay. Record show no decisions were made during the executive session. The board has been informed. At this point, I will I'm looking for a motion in the public meeting.
Action items for executive session.
We're out of executive session.
Right, it's this part, number 3.
Number 3, summary and action items from executive session is where we're at. Would any of the board members like to make a motion on the discussion in executive session?
I would like to make a motion to grant the mayor pro temp the authority or power to act in the best option of the town, to complete any investigations and decide the best course of action up to retaining or up to termination of any employees.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Due to.
I have,
Go ahead.
sorry, I have a motion too. I would like to appoint town clerk Lorraine Hancock to the position of interim town manager. Additionally, increasing her wages to the amount of $66,137.
That includes benefits? I mean, that's part of it, right? Yeah, because you've already got it.
I know,
I stand
yeah.
corrected. I stand corrected.
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion on the table. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Before we, as far as further discussion, we're probably too far in the motion. The word interim was in there, correct, Grant?
Correct, yes.
Until we can find another town manager. Correct?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. All those in favor, did we do that already?
Yes.
A little bit numb. Okay, motion carries. Let's moving on. Numb's a good word, isn't it?
That's a very good one.
Sometimes.
Have we had time to review the regular meeting minutes of July 18th, August 15th, September 4th as a consent agenda? Have you guys had time to look at the expenditure vouchers of September 19th? And have you had time to look at the approval of the Parks and Recreation expenditures? Lorraine, have you had, is there anything out of the normal that the board needs to advise?
Yes, there is a $30,000 Colorado Division of Water. Invoice,
Is that call of the Division of Water? That's the money we authorized to go to the state engineers to
Yes.
approve our project. And that money is gonna be split between the Colorado Water Board grant and the loan that we have. So that'll be a 50-50 split and not come out of the budget. That's part of the monies that's been encumbered and set aside for the project.
I do have a question on that expenditure. Was that the one where you could pay online or by check?
yes, we're
And
gonna
we
check.
are, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Is there any others that need to be brought to their attention?
I move that we approve the consent agenda. All items in the consent agenda.
I have a motion second to approve all the items underneath the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to agenda number 5, new business, the rain for rent. Now, one thing that I'd like to, let's do the rain for rent. Can you explain that what's going on there to the board? Would you like me to?
Let's see, so we're gonna do the sludge removal in October, and from what Dagan explained, Rain for Rent is gonna be able to come in and remove a bunch of water from the sludge before we remove it, so we can essentially remove more sludge than water, get more bang for our buck.
Because the company that's coming in is gonna charge us per gallon, as you guys remember from the last meeting. So if Rain for Rent can remove that first pond and get a lot of the liquid out of there before we get to the sludge, it's gonna save the taxpayers some money coming out of our budget.
I move to approve the rain for rent contract, sewage removal for $6,401.77.
I second.
Okay. Let's move on to the memorandum agreement, the Dolores County Risk Mapping and Assessment and Planning Project. Brian, you want to speak on that?
Sure. So Dagan and I were in on a meeting, along with Dolores County. And we talked about risk management into the back of water, like 100-year floods type of thing. And so Dagan listed out where he thought in town we need to take a look at. One being the new reservoir, which probably has plans for that when we get to that point. Another being down by the creek, kind of by, is that Central or Second? What's down there? So we'd be signing this memorandum of agreement, saying that they will work with us. If we don't sign this, FEMA will go ahead and do it anyway. It's in our best interest to sign this MOA.
Move that we sign the memorandum of agreement.
I'll second that.
Giving the authority to the mayor.
Sorry, giving the authority to the mayor to sign the memorandum.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Okay, we'll move forward with that. Was there a timeline when that needed to be signed and sent back?
I think the 15th.
Into October along with the other deadlines?
Wanted as soon as possible, but I think 15th of October, so.
We got a lot of deadlines coming up, so you guys will have to bear with us as we get through it. Okay. We're in the, moving on to the next item, which is the second reading of an ordinance amending municipal code to allow for cancellation of elections. Ordinance number 1, series 2024. Apparently that has never been put in any of the ordinances that we are allowed to cancel the election due to lack of interest. But we're putting it in there that we have the authority to do that, so we can act on it later on. You'll have that in your board packet. Ordinance number 1, series 24, whereas times are elections. I'm sure you guys have had time to
Yeah.
read that.
Real quick, I think in this, you have to open up the floor to public comment.
I have to open up the floor for public comment before I move to a vote. Is there any public comment on, would you like me to read this right quick?
Yes.
Whereas at times there are elections with no more candidates and vacancies or positions to be filled. And whereas the legislature in CRS 3110-507 authorizes local government to enact legislation canceling elections where there are no more candidates and positions to be filled. And now therefore be it ordained by the Town of Dove Creek Board of Trustees that the Town of Dove Creek Code of Ordinances amended to add section 2-19 write-in candidates. No write-in vote shall be counted unless an affidavit of intent has been filed with the town clerk by the person whose name is written in prior to 64 days before the day of the election, indicating that such person desires the office and is qualified to assume the duties of the office if so elected. Section 2-20, election canceled when, as an affidavit of intent is required for write-in candidates as set forth in section 2, write-in candidates. If the only matter before the voters is the election of persons to office, if at the close of business on the 64th day before the election, there are not more candidates than offices to be filled at such election, including candidates firing affidavits. That's bad verbiage, isn't it? Affidavits of intent. The clerk, if instructed by resolution of the governing body, either before or after such date, shall cancel the election and by resolution declare the candidates elected. If so provided by ordinance, upon such declaration, the candidate shall be deemed elected. Notice of such cancellation shall be published, if possible, in order to inform the electors of the municipality. And notice of such cancellation shall be posted at each polling place and in not less than one other public place. Penalty, violations of this ordinance shall be punishable by a fine of up to $499 and such other remedies as listed in 22-94 subsection C and 22-95 subsection E. Repealer of all orders, bylaws, ordinances, and resolutions of the town or parts thereof inconsistent or in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent only of such inconsistency or conflict. Under severability, if any section, paragraph, clause, or provision of this ordinance shall for any reason be held to be invalid or unenforceable, the invalidity or unenforceability of such section, paragraph, clause, or provision shall not affect any of the remaining provisions of this ordinance, the intent being that the same is severable. Well, that's a disclaimer, isn't it? Recording and authentication. Upon adoption hereof, this ordinance shall be recorded in a book kept for that purpose and shall be authenticated by the signature of the mayor and the town clerk. Effective date. The ordinance shall be effective upon publication after final passage. The ordinance shall be considered for second or final reading on today's date, the hour of 6:30. Ta-da, passed and adopted such and such. What? Is there any comments on that? Any for or against? From the board or from the public? Hearing none?
I move to approve second reading of ordinance number 1, series 2024.
Seconded. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. It's a matter of record. Vacation ordinance,
Table this.
I move to table vacation ordinance item number,
Five,
5D.
section D. Until a later date.
yes.
Second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to the Sinclair liquor license renewal. Have they signed all the paperwork and paid all their dues?
They have, everything is in order. Sheriff,
Have you talked to the
Wilson.
sheriff?
yeah, Sheriff Wilson said there's no violations.
Any questions from the board, from the public, on the renewal of the license?
I move to approve the renewal of the Sinclair license.
I have a motion to approve the license for Sinclair.
Seconded.
I have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that, go ahead and, put that into play. Okay. Moving on here,
I move to table,
7 subsection
seven
A.
A, B, and C.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion before I call for the vote? On those three items, everybody okay with that? Okay, I have a motion and second to go ahead and table, 7A, B, and C, until a later time, and you can reschedule that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I have, some guests here. I think I'm looking at one right now. Public comment, we usually go 5 minutes on each public comment based on time.
Okay,
So, do you have
Okay.
anything to bring to the board?
I do. I wanted to, I'm Catherine Boyd.
Hello, Catherine Boyd, a town
Hi.
board member of the past.
Yes, I've been on the town board for several years before Brett and all of you guys. So I kind of know how the drill works and this and that. But I just wanted to bring some information to you because I wasn't sure. I went to the county commissioners to present my information to them. And I want to present to the town board as well. I think people need to know what's going on in town or the county. Well, my house is the little house behind the school, 503 College Avenue, and it's, the renter's in there. Bruce Litton, I will say his name. Was month to month. And we agreed all along. I told him the house is for sale. The minute it sells, I need you to move out. And he agreed, that's fine, okay. And I have it in writing. I gave 30-day notice, the whole bit, it's all there. And now, I couldn't make, my house is sold. And I couldn't close on it because he refuses to leave. And I wanted the town to know, we have someone in my house that's not authorized. I think that's kind of scary. That we have people taking over houses in town. And I wanted you guys to know about it. It's a scary world. I mean, in the cities, yes. I would expect that in the cities. Somehow I don't expect it in Dove Creek, Colorado, and I don't expect it by a local family. And I'm just shocked. I mean, he was a buddy of Dale's. Dale took his truck up there to the implement all the time. They're buddies. And he'd come by one day and said, man, I gotta have a place to rent. We had this house. We said, it's not for rent, it's up for sale. We're selling the house. Oh, no, you know, the sob story. And so Dale says, well, let's rent it to him. He agreed, get out. So the house is sold. We can't close on it now. And I've got somebody in there that will not move. And in his exact quote, he sent me a text, you have to take me to court. And this is a repeat. He did it out at Cajon in that log house. As you drive to Cajon on the right, the big old log house. And I talked to that man today, and I got that whole story. And I won't tell you that whole story, but it's just horrendously scary. I mean, I'm shaking in my shoes how much it's gonna cost me. And I just want you guys to know, first of all, I've been working with Dagan and Paul, trying to get my utilities turned off. And I know there's laws that they showed me. I said, I want to see the laws. They showed me the laws where they can't turn it off. So I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm calling him a squatter at this point, a trespasser, whatever you wanna call him. His date to get out was August 31st. We sold the house, and the realtor said, how much time do you wanna give your renter to move out? And I said, well, I'd really like to get 60 days. She goes, 60 days? Nobody gets 60 days. We get 30 days, or whatever. I said, well, times are tough now, rentals aren't around. Let's, and again, I'm still thinking of him as a friend. Let's give him his 60 days. It's hard out there. So we gave him 60 days. So my buyer has been waiting 60 days, which she agreed to. And then we had to cancel that whole, we can't close. So my closing is canceled. I've tried to sell that house and the field. The whole deal was sold as a package, that north field. And anyway, my new date, she did agree to extend it to Halloween, October 31. If it's not out by then, I'm really afraid I'll lose my sale. I don't think she'll put up with this much longer. And I just wanted you guys to be aware, I've been working with the town folks, but I know on the board level, I'd like you to be aware that people are coming in and occupying houses and taking them over. And I know you don't have laws on the books, but like, if I look online, Colorado squatter laws or trespassing laws, and you go look online, and they say, well, go look, each county has their rules. So I go to the county, I talk to the commissioners about this, and of course, they look at me like I have three heads, because there's no county laws on squatting, and I talked to Dagan and Paul, and same thing, and, we don't have that stuff here. Well, you wouldn't. This is Dove Creek. Of course you wouldn't. Of course the county wouldn't. But I think it's time to think about it. I mean, if we've got locals doing it, wait till the other people start pulling into town that aren't locals. Wait till all these, immigrants and all these other people coming through town looking for places, who knows what they're gonna do. So you might wanna think about, I don't know, town law on squattering or something, because you look at it online, it says check with your county or this or that, but I just wanted to let you guys know my house is taken over, and with the orders of you have to take me to court. And according to what the last fellow said, it'll be like 35 grand for me to get him out. And I'm, like I said, shaking in my boots over it right now. And I want you guys to know, we have that problem now in Dove Creek. I cannot get my house back.
Thank you.
One other thing is that I asked for was like a town ordinance. I wanted to, compliance officer. We used to have one when I was on town board. We had a compliance officer. Anyway, took care of all these problems. Well, now if you look at my house, we got a problem. There's trash everywhere and abandoned cars all in that field. The cars aren't started. They're never moved. There's a wood stove in the middle of the field. And I just wonder, why is that allowed? Why is that trash? Why is abandoned cars all taking over my field? I know you could say, well, I could do something, but I can't do anything really about it. But there's trash around town that needs addressed. And my property's number one, I'd say. So if you guys could, try to get your town and code enforcement officer back, because that's what they told me when I asked about it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any other, Lana, I see you there. Anything? Okay, and then these two are gonna probably bring their reports here directly. But moving on to sheriff's report.
Right now, they're doing a lot of things. They're involved with the solar farm. And we're finding out that our DA is currently under investigation for some stuff. And they're trying to take care of that part. It's not gonna hinder him as far as doing his job, because he doesn't fall underneath the same rules as a law enforcement person. Even though he's a law enforcement person, he doesn't fall underneath the same rules as a cop would, a deputy would. So he basically gets to still practice his law practice inside the district attorney's office. It doesn't change. We've had several kids, I don't know if you guys have seen them, that live in town on between 4th Street and all the way up to 9th Street. And from Pine Street all the way over to Colorado, they've been walking up the alleyways late at night. We have with flashlights. So just be aware, we know who they are. We've addressed it with their mother, and their mother seems to say, hey, they need a break, they need to go out, and we don't know what they're doing. We have talked to them. What could possibly happen if somebody catches them in their backyard snooping through stuff? They might get hurt because nobody knows who these people are. Could it be an adult? Could it be a kid? They don't know. So be aware there are young kids walking around. There's 3 of them with flashlights walking around, looking through people's sheds, looking through your backyard, and doing things that at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. And people have reported it to us. So we have contacted with them and also social services to see if we can get a handle on it, but there's really no rules that we can enforce except our town ordinance for the curfew rule. That's about the only thing we could do to them. And are we gonna get anywhere with the family? I don't think so, because they're gonna continue to do it. And mom is pretty much non-existent. And we're dealing with that with social services, so hopefully we'll get it under wraps. We may lose 2, possibly 3 deputies. So that'll put us way down as far as enforcement. We don't know how long that process takes. One of them is in the last process with the state troopers, and he should know by the end of this month to see if he's gonna leave or not. And then the election process may take another one from us. And then another one wants to go somewhere else because obviously the county can't afford to pay him the wages that the bigger agencies have. And it's just not there. And so we put up 2 postings today on our Facebook page and also on the website for the Dolores County that we're developing a pool for a part-time dispatcher because right now we have one injured. And we don't know when he's gonna come back, so we have to have someone to fill that position to make sure that we have a dispatcher, so the other 4 dispatchers are not working 7 days a week. So we have to get that part-time dispatcher, and we're working on it. And then if the deputies leave, it'll take 6 months to 8 months to get another person in the cop car by himself. And other than that, I think that, I don't know about their tickets, I didn't look at that part. And we're working with Lorraine, getting her the tickets in the email now, right? And making sure that she's getting in the email instead of having to figure out how she's gonna store all these signed tickets that the guys are writing. Other than that, I think it's going pretty smooth. We're in the process of updating our dispatch center. I don't know if I've told you previously, 911 Authority Board has approved us to purchase all of the equipment and programming and installation. I think the price was about $165,000, somewhere around there. And we're gonna start that project probably within the 2nd week to 3rd week in October. So the sheriff's office is gonna have a new face on it in the front. You're not gonna be able to have physical contact with the dispatchers. There's gonna be a closed-in area for the dispatcher, so that, because we're having problems with people coming in there and they seem to like to be angry for some reason at the dispatcher, so we're trying to make it more secure for them. And it's gonna be a secure area for dispatchers, and it's gonna be different for you, so you're gonna be talking through a speaker, not to the person. The deputies will still have their desk in there for interviews and everything else. But other than that, We hope to have it done by maybe the 1st of November, we hope. Any questions?
Things are changing, huh?
We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And we're going to give the senior center a training on scams that are going through the country right now. And we're gonna do a PowerPoint with them to make sure that the seniors know that, okay, this might look like you're gonna get a lot of money, but you ain't getting nothing, you're getting everything taken from you. So we're gonna go to the seniors and have a PowerPoint with them. The federal government put out this stuff and hopefully it'll help the seniors recognize what's gonna be bad and what's not gonna be bad.
Recommendation, when I find the guy in my backyard with the flashlight at 3 o'clock in the morning is what?
Protect your property. That's all I can, protect your property, then call us. If you have to take action, make sure you're safe.
They have been over Bob Street, by the way.
Oh, they have?
Yes.
I
Okay.
think they've
No
been-
problems, just walking through the town, the yards.
Okay. So they've been all over then,
I think they've been down.
on that way
down
too? Okay. Protect, make sure yourself is safe and your family's safe and you're allowed to protect your property. It is what it is and they know the dangers of what they're creating for themselves. Do I want a kid to get hurt? I sure don't. I don't want a kid to get hurt at all. But you have to make sure your family's safe
To your
too.
knowledge, they're not carrying weapons, are they?
I can't answer that because I don't know. I know they have a baseball bat. I know they have clubs. Maybe butcher knives, maybe. So they could, but I can't say that they do because we haven't caught them with one yet.
Okay. Any other questions from the board for Sheriff Wilson?
These for these kids.
I don't know if that would give them away, but, from 6 years old to 15 years old. So, yeah,
Okay,
okay,
thank you, sir.
Do you live in town?
yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Recreation Director Christie. How we doing?
Busy,
Are you tired yet for the summer?
yes.
I'll bet you are.
And our fall sports have kicked off, so we currently have our youth football program running. And we do have cheer and tumbling going on right now as well, so we have 26 kiddos signed up for football this year, so 2 teams. That is definitely up from the last few years, so excited. Was able to pick up a scrimmage with them in Moab, get some additional games, so looking forward to that. We are hosting football here in town on October 5th, so if
Wow.
you are around, we'll have a lot of football games happening, come on up. For cheer and tumbling, we have 38 girls signed up this year, so that's also up as well. They will be performing at our football games. You might see them up at the high school football games, and then they have a big year-end performance scheduled in October as well. So they are busy.
Are you doing all the training or the teaching, or have you got coaches to help do
Oh, I
that?
have
So I grew up.
coaches.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, just checking. I just,
no, I'm not
okay.
a cheerleader by any means.
Okay.
And then basketball will be starting just around the corner in November for our girls, so that registration and stuff will be kicking off pretty soon as well. Otherwise, I'm also been pretty busy with the Christmas bazaar. That's coming up November 2nd, so we're already booking booths and all that stuff. They start calling in July for that, so that'll be here before we know it. Also, just an update on the windows repairs that were gonna be happening at the community center. We should be starting next week. I was hoping that would be done in August, but we had some delays. The machine that cuts the glass broke down, we had to wait for a part, and then they cut the wrong size of glass, so we had to wait for them to redo that, but they are up there in the building we are ready to start next week, so finally. Otherwise, I've been pretty busy still, looking at, our project to redo the outdoor basketball courts and all that. I will be having a Zoom call next week with our GoCo representative, just to chat about our project and some funding, possibility that we can get from GoCo. Still gathering a lot of cost information, but again, that project will include, removing and replacing the entire basketball court, resurfacing that.
Beautiful.
We're talking new fencing, new lighting. That smaller adjacent court will be converted into a pickleball court. And then we'll have a covered seating cabana, I don't know if that's the right word, kind of there on the end as well. So it's gonna be a really nice upgrade, and much needed. It's definitely one of our most used amenities up there for sure, so.
I love it.
Yeah, did you have a question?
Oh, I love it. Just
Oh,
keep
okay.
going. Oh, that's good stuff.
Otherwise, another project that working on right now is getting some bleachers, some new bleachers for the park, for the baseball field area. These Colorado Delta Beta Lorette sorority, I probably said that wrong, has received some funds, lottery funds from the county. And then also I've been working with Teresa and Pick and Hoe because they have a need for bleachers as well. So I think between the three of us, we are gonna get some new bleachers, up there for the park. Hoping maybe we can get 2 sets, but at least definitely one. Looking to get that taken care of fairly soon. I know the sorority needs to spend their money by October 1st. So that's not very far away. But so I just want to give you a heads up, we're working on that, got a little partnership going, and we're looking at the aluminum bleachers, not the wood ones like we have that break and need all kinds of maintenance. They will be like 4-row bleachers. Anything 5 or above requires the big safety rails and all that kind of stuff. So just keeping with 4, trying to get away from that. So, I think that's it. That's what I got going.
Good. Are you moaning or what are you doing?
Yeah, where are you at with your funding? Like how close?
So again, way off still. Like we gotta meet with GoCo and I'll have to know more after that conversation. They have some different grant cycles. Again, I'll know more after Tuesday, but I'm thinking like we would probably best fit to put in for that November cycle. Which means if we were awarded, we wouldn't know that until February. And then we would get the actual funds to start construction next June. Just timing wise, I think that will be good. I don't see how we could get that done before 4th of July. I think that's something we need to look at after all that and all the crazy summer stuff, baseball, and there's just a lot of happening up there. So I think timing wise, that will be better. But again, we do have some of our recreation sales tax funds, some lottery funds. Again, GoCo's really big into collaborations and partnerships. So, working with the sorority and different groups is really gonna help us as well. But I don't have a final dollar number.
Okay. I just wondered like if, we needed to maybe think about somehow helping support that as well, if we can. I don't know if we can, but.
Yeah, and because some of it will be required matching funds, we talked about, because there'll have to be some drainage work and things like that, using the town crew to kind of help do some of that, help us get some in-kind and matching towards that project. Again, we've been working towards it, so I think we'll be okay, as far as our matching funds and stuff. Again, it's just, I don't even know what the total project is gonna cost us right now, so
Okay.
I'm still working on finalizing that.
Yeah, I personally am happy to figure out how we can help to support to make stuff like that
Perfect.
happen too.
I'll be in touch. I'll keep you posted.
It's a good intro into you, Joanne, on the budget. Can you inform the board of budget deadlines?
We have to present the budget to you by October, I think it's October 12th. And that's why we moved the date from what we did at the calendar. So what'll happen with that is, staff will go over the budget and then present a budget to you, and then we can talk about what we need to change, and then we have to adopt the budget by December 15th. So we'll be working on that a lot in the upcoming meetings.
Anything else you need to mention to the board at the moment?
Not at the moment.
I did meet with, I met with Paul and Dagan and Todd Feeney today for lunch. He brought bad news and good news as far as my interpretation of it. Bad news is the State Department actually has 6 months to approve our reservoir engineering project. But they have led us to believe they're gonna move at a quicker time schedule, so we're gonna hope we can make that happen. That was the bad news. But the good news is he has stumbled across, there's so many avenues on grants. And of course, you're right in the middle of all that stuff. You never know when it's gonna come available on grants for her projects, but there is a grant out there that he feels we can apply for. Deadline is November 1st. He is going to assist us in making that happen. It is a grant, it is a federal money project. At this point, he sees no matching funds, but it is for support projects such as our reservoir. And it is, what's the word that he used? Client resiliency, climate resiliency is the 2 words. So it fits our needs real well, including the river project or the pipeline going to the river. And by the time he's done, it takes 2 or 3 years. Has anything taken any less than that? That was sarcasm, by the way, if you didn't catch that. But if we are successful, he's gonna try to help us make that application by November 1 deadline. And then we'll roll the dice, but that money is gonna be scattered. I think there's $2.6 billion in that fund coming from the federal government, but if we're successful, Todd believes we fit right into the eligibility requirements for that money. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that was the good part, and then I had to excuse myself, but and go back to work. Okay, moving on to municipal court. Since he's not here, anything there, you've got him on the agenda, but I don't have anything I need to bring to the table at this time.
No, we're gonna table, Judge Ian McLaren's gonna come in and give an update at the next meeting.
Okay,
Make it to this meeting last minute.
okay, you've heard the update from the town attorney. We wished him the best this afternoon, when we were visiting with him. But, at this point, if there's nothing else to bring before the board at this time, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting and move on to the next one. I do, before you do that, I do appreciate you guys' patience. The next 2 months is gonna be a road race. And I may have to call several meetings instead of the typical 2 when we started 4, 5, 6 years ago. Grant and I was doing 1 meeting a month, but we graduated to 2 and sometimes 3, and we may have a meeting every week by the time we're done with this. But, so I ask for your patience. At this point, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And I did make the motion, didn't
Mhm.
Did,
I? I did.
it's all right. I
Motion
seconded
and a
it.
Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. I want to thank all of you for attending. Nice to see concerned citizens. Meeting adjourned.